This is JackBeFlippen on Mission Reload Gaming, and today we'll be talking about Rimworld's 1.1 patch. This thing's fairly extensive, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a too long didn't read, and then we'll get into the deeper bits for those of you who are interested. Alright, and away we go! A new beta of the game's 1.1 update just came out on Steam, and it's chock full of new features and tweaks. The biggest changes are all of the game's network of extensive mods, smoothing and improving the experience of managing mods and mod compatibility. Thought it was actually pretty good already, but they're making it better. I'm okay with this. There's also a sharper UI at scale, so Rimworld looks better at 4K. Ho ho! This still is unstable branch, so there's a bit of work to be done there yet, but if you're raring to go with more Rimworld, you can jump into it now. Alright, so I've gone through the patch notes, and I've pulled out the things that I thought were the most entertaining, not the most useful, and then we'll get into the most useful later. But here is the too long didn't read, fun, interesting things that makes you want to go check out Rimworld again if you haven't played it in, like, a month and a half. Added Tortured Artist trait. The character has a permanent mood debuff, but gets an art inspiration from low mood. Oh man, life sucks, and I just need to get my feelings out. There we go. We have Tortured Artist now. Changed sandbags to be constructed of textile stuff instead of steel. Finally! Ugh! I never understood why frickin' bean bags don't have metal in them. Maybe staples, but that's about it. Okay, added recipes to burn entire stacks of drugs at once, because that's a thing. Scars are now assigned to an easy-to-understand pain category instead of an obscure number. Thank you. Added freed from slavery mood-boosting thought from pawns bought from a trader. Hey, we get a mood boost. Open caskets now look different from closed ones. Yeah, it looks like Dracula sticking out of it, I'm pretty sure. Laying out with his tongue sticking out. Colonists attending a party gain recreational value. Perfect. That's awesome. Another buff. Pawns no longer engage in recreational activities when injured, unless the activity can be done in bed. Rubik's Cubes. We need to mod in Rubik's Cubes. Added animals. The bison, the donkey, the duck, the goat, the goose, the guinea pig, the horse, the sheep, and the yak. I'm looking forward to having a battle yak now, because all hail the battle yak. Fixed jawless animals can still haul. Was that a problem? Okay. Fixed corpses won't create corpse bile. Okay, I guess they create corpse bile now. And fix arrested wild man don't use nutrient dispenser and can't receive food. Okay, I'm glad that's fixed, because Monkey likes to use the nutrient food paste Soylent Green machine. Oh, and here's my favorite one. Those of you who have watched any of my videos early on, like a year or 3 ago, the stomach is no longer a vital organ. Hot diggity dog. Okay, actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind if they kept it as a vital organ, made it so it was easily replaceable with something that was in the game, because I don't know how many times I've gotten my guy's gut shot. I know at least 3 or 4 times of characters I liked. I have to slowly watch them die, and it's just I mean, it adds something to Rimworld, I get it, but... Okay, so that was the too long didn't read bit. Moving on, if you guys would like to read it yourself, I will have a link in the... If you guys want to read it yourself, there'll be a link to the Steam announcement on the Steam community part of Rimworld down below. If you want to listen to my sexy voice, please proceed. Okay, so the full mod list rolls as UI looks sharp at UI scales over 1.0. Great for 4K monitors. New quest tab provides information about available active and historical quests. Added new data-driven quest generation and management system. This should make it straightforward for modders and us to add or change quests without programming. UI now uses colored text to highlight important words like character names, places, and rewards. Improve the mod management interface and code. Mods now have a global package ID, which lets them refer to each other. Mods can now define other mods they must be loaded before or after. Oh, finally, added a tool to automatically sort the mod list. Mods can now define other mods that they depend on. Shortcuts allow the player to easily download required mods. Mods can now define other mods that they are incompatible with. The interface will warn players about incompatibilities. Added loading screen tips. These are short bits of text helping the player understand an obscure aspect of the game. They're displayed during loading. Loading screen now displays present and active expansion and mods. Added room stats gizmo, which displays the stats of the room containing a selected building at a glance. Added Recon Armor, a lighter variant of Marine Armor. Added EMP launcher weapon. It fires EMP grenades a long distance. Added smoke launcher weapon. Added smoke launcher grenadier enemy. Added a planet population slider to the planet generation parameters. Added animals. We went over these already. Added torture artist. Added a bunch of new backstories across multiple categories. Yes! Added heart stroke alert for colonists and tame animals. Added taming inspiration, which makes the next tame attempt very likely to succeed. Added fertility overlay, which shows terrain fertility and an easy-to-see way. About to say, fertility overlay, like, what are we about to talk about here? Added terrain affordance overlay, which shows where you can build and how easy to see way. Oh, okay. Added barricades, which are like sandbags, but can be constructed of metal, wood, or stone. Changed sandbags to be constructed with textile stuff instead of steel. Added an option to choose which kinds of letters pause the game. Added recipes to burn entire stacks of drugs at once. Bonfire of drugs. Added wooden hand and wooden foot. Added a variety of tribal backstories. Added a letter to the player when a colonist is kidnapped, noting that there will be chances to get them back. Added asexual trait. Bisexual trait is no longer hidden. Context menu now shows icon next to each option depending on what's being chosen. When choosing a building material, see icons for the material. When choosing a drug to administer, see icons for the drugs, and so on. Okay. Info cards now include hyperlinks to other info cards. This is used in various places. The info card now visually displays the object being inspected. Added weapon biocoding, which makes a weapon only usable by one individual. For modders, we added a mod updating text file. That's cool. Added Greek language localization created by some volunteers. Wonderful volunteers, by the way. Adjustments. The game now uses an incremental garbage collector, which should remove the periodic frame hitches that appear when a lot of memory is being allocated and released. However, note that there is still a cost to memory allocation, so modders should still try to reduce allocation wherever possible. Optimizations to many systems. Faction icons are now differentiated by shape as well as color. Redesigned how the underground mineral scanner works. Split tribe into two factions, the Gentle Tribe and the Fierce Tribe. Redesigned the system for generating ruined buildings. Prisoner tab now shows slave price, recruitment chance, and potential faction relation gain. Added new body impact visual effects for the creature who gets hit by a projectile. Added pawn lost throughout what happens when a pawn is kidnapped or abandoned by their caravan. Downed pawns can now be loaded into transport pods like prisoners. Added confirmation dialogue before attacking friendly factions. Added allow refueling toggle to torch, campfire, and passive cooler. Pawns now really like the pawn who rescued them. Oh. Added toggle refuel, allow command to the pod launcher, wood generator, chem fuel, etc., etc. Added an explanatory letter telling players how to get advanced components for the fabrication bench. Groovy. Added skill descriptions to combat log text. Added scar pain feedback and reworked how scar pain works. Scars are now assigned to an easy to understand pain category. Added free from slavery mood boost. Yep. Trade interference. Our trade interface now shows the next restock time for settlements. Added mood boost when prisoner released. Open caskets now look different. Brawler trait disallows shooting passion. Colonists attending a party gain recreational value. Player can now inspect the contents of cryo-sleep caskets on a new tab. Stomach is no longer a vital organ. Changed animal rescue radius from 30 to 75. Info cards for surgeries can now show the chance of death upon failure. Info card shows max hit points factor for materials. Interface now reports the chance of successful arrests before you try to make it. Insect hives now slowly heal over time of the course of days. Changed caravan reform to be allowed with sleeping hostiles on site. Change sights to stop and reset forced exit timer when enemies start a battle. Reworked the world sight system to allow easier combination of different sight parts. Added the ability for word sights to have unknown parts. Rebalancing sleep sickness. Rebalanced mechanoid body part coverages. Changed rare thrombo incident to send from 2 to 6 thrombones. Oh god. Adjusted a lot of text to use a colon instead of brackets, and the consistent use of capitals after the colon. Ashes from burned plants and buildings now survive rain and disappear after 10 to 15 days. Also visually larger. Trade price improvement from Negotiator is now reported in the trade screen. Tattered apparel and unhappy nudity alerts now show how many are affected. Change to fix some kit hotkeys. Smelting, burning, and destruction review. Plate armor is now smeltable, except for wood plate armor, which is burnable. Wood club is also burnable, and metallic variants are smeltable. Apparels from Hyperweave and Devil Strand can no longer be burnt. Can destroy apparels now, same as the weapons. Neolithic ranged weapons can now be burnt. Placing turrets now shows minimum max range, not just max range. IEDs now explode when bullets hit them. Pawns no longer engage in recreational activities when injured. Bridges now only support light buildings. The terrain requirements for building walls now depends on what they're built from. This means stone walls can't be built on bridges anymore. Pawns now sometimes take the family name of their partner upon marriage. Dementia now causes slow skill loss. Rework stock generation for all trader and settlement types. Factions tab display changed for clarity. Enemy relations are shown with icons. Bio tab now displays faction icons. History messages tab layout reworked. Tooltip replaced with a pane on the right side that displays the letter. This is what I wanted to mention earlier. Credits now list the memory of colonists who died. That's if I ever get to see the frickin' credits. The credits better roll when everyone dies in your group as well, just because I'm not going to get to the ship all the time. Or is that just considered failed and you never get to see the credits of that one? Anesthetic now wears off slowly instead of it all at once. The person will be drowsy for some time. Nimble pawns are now better at avoiding traps. Increase the selection limit up to 200. Combine the stats art speed, tailoring speed, smelting speed, and unskilled labor speed, and renamed unskilled labor speed to general labor speed. Rename sculptor's table to art bench since it's not just for sculptures anymore. Localization data is now packed into a single file per... Wait. Rename sculptor's table to art bench. Does that mean we have paintings now? Do we get paintings? Localization data is now packed into a single file per language, which massively reduces the number of files on an install of the game and speeds up various file operations. Many other balance changes, code improvements, and optimizations and adjustments. And there's an entire huge long list of fixes. It's extensive, and it'd be another 10-20 minutes of me reading them off. If you guys are interested, I'm going to have a link below in the description so you guys can go read them. It's also on the Steam Community Workshop. Yeah, if you're interested in seeing all the fixes, click below. And until then, everybody fly reckless. Jack out.